Banks have been avoided when it comes to real estate investing because in most cases they have very little flexibility on the quality of the property that you can bring to them, and all kind of other scrutiny from inspections to your personal finances. This has brought on the emergence of hard money, private money, and things, and these creative financing deals. The entire space was born out of the fact that banks have been the center hub for financing, but many wanted to get into more, adventurous real estate investing deals and found that banks are just not favorable to those for understandable reasons. I'm going to teach you a strategy where you can actually navigate your entire banking relationship without necessarily having to use private money or hard money if you don't want to, or just combining the strategy I'm about to give you with hard money or private money to get yourself to bank level investment mortgage funding. It's the mecca at the end of the day. People go private and hard money routes to get these properties taken down, to do what they need to do to them and turn them into assets and then bring them back to the bank. I'm going to teach you a strategy where you can pretty much work almost exclusively within the bank or combine it with your private money, hard money strategies and graduate it to the bank a lot faster, with the focus being Chase Bank in this video. The first thing you're going to want to do is get a strong personal relationship going with Chase Bank. You really want to strive for private client, and that's the highest level of their retail banking they have available. The reason I bring up private client is because they give anywhere from 1/4 to 0.5% discount on top of the best available mortgage rates you qualify for. That in itself can be tens of thousands of dollars over the life of a mortgage loan, whether that's investment, primary, whatever. But anywhere from 0.25% to 0.5% off of your mortgage rate right out of the gate for being private client. What do you need to qualify for private client? You need $150,000 in either deposits or investments or a combination of the two. You can't make private client. The strategy is still going to work just fine. I just wanted to come out of the gate showing you the value of relationship banking and how doing so effectively can save you a ton of money very early on and throughout the life of the loan. The next thing you want to work on once you have a personal relationship established and maximized with Chase Bank, you're going to want to set up a business entity and get a business banking relationship going. This is going to be very important because it's going to be the bridge that's going to allow you to take down properties that may need to be renovated or take down properties that need to be, work done on them, maybe even potentially ground up construction, whatever the case may be, however creative you want to get to an extent. You're going to be able to do this through the business banking relationship. You're going to want to create a business entity if you don't have one in place already and you don't really want it to be pegged to real estate. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's a high risk industry, and titling it with real estate in it or getting an NAICS code, North American Industry Classification Systems code, which you need whenever you establish a business bank account. When you get that and it's pegged to real estate, the bank can either literally flat out deny doing business with you, or they'll allow you to do the business banking and then they'll give you a headache when it's time for lending and deny you at that point. Don't peg it to real estate if you can avoid it. Find something else that's not considered a high risk industry you're doing business in. It could be like your side hustle. It could be your existing business structure, whatever the case. It even can partly have your employment income funneled into it if you have enough excess cash flow. Now, again, going back to the personal side really quickly, make sure that you have savings and cash reserves building up. That's going to be a good look banking relationship wise, but you're also going to need it down the line in the process to secure your investment loans. We'll talk about that in a minute. Back to the business banking side. Set up a business entity, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, usually ideal somewhere in that range. Work with an attorney if you need be, or do your research online to find out what entity makes the most sense for you. If you're going to have a business partner, make sure that if they have 10% or more of ownership in the business, that they're a part of this process with you, because you're going to need that when you go to establish the business bank account. Articles of incorporation or organization, good standing from the Secretary of State, EIN number, and have your NAICS code resolved when you go in to establish your business bank account with any bank, but especially Chase Bank. Once you have this established, you're doing this to get access to Chase's business line of credit. And you're going to do that by establishing a strong business banking relationship. Strong doesn't mean it has to have millions of dollars flowing through it, but you want it to have reasonable money going in, because in order to qualify for that business line of credit, you're going to need strong personal credit, some business revenue, and strong personal financials, meaning you have decent income coming in and some cash flow coming in on the personal side. You're going to need some kind of revenue coming in for the business. They're not likely to qualify you for a line of credit if they don't have, you don't have active income flowing through the business. So you will need some level of revenue, but you won't need a ton to get qualified. They have a $10,000 minimum up to deep 6, maybe 7 figures that they'll allow in their business lines of credit. You don't have to worry about a ceiling or really, going too low, because at the end of the day, the goal is to do as much of this within the bank as you can to come up with your own capital. You want to become a cash buyer initially on your rental real estate. This business line of credit is going to be the trick for you to do so. So again, you're going to want a strong personal relationship. I would include include checking account, bring your direct deposit and stuff over, build some cash reserve, build savings, whether you do savings or CD, personal credit card, at least one, maybe more. And you're going to need a strong business relationship, proper entity set up, proper documentation set up. And then from there, you're going to want to establish business credit with them, business credit cards. This is going to give you internal bank data on the business side with Chase Bank, which is going to be very valuable. This is also going to give you business credit for the business entity, which is also going to help when it's time to qualify for that business line of credit. How long do you need to have this business banking relationship going before you have a good shot at this line of credit? You're going to likely be looking at about a year. Once you reach a year with Chase Bank, with your business banking relationship, and they've seen, they can look back and see the financials for that business. You got good personal credit. You maybe have a little bit of business credit going because you got a couple credit cards with them and whatever else you put on that entity. You're going to avoid any high risk in the title and avoid it in your NAICS code. Then you're going to need a lot less documentation. And that 1 year threshold will give you a very serious consideration to get approved for that line of credit. And what I mean by a lot less documentation, they're going to need the personal guarantors of whoever's got 10% or more in the business and of ownership. And then they're going to need probably like 1 year's tax returns, maybe 2, but probably only 1 if you're banking internally with them and they've seen cash flow coming in, because they're going to gauge the cash flow in the business banking activity. And they're going to want whatever business credit, and they're going to want your personal credit. That's roughly what you're going to need. You're not usually going to need a bunch of financial statements. You want to have that stuff prepared, but you're usually not going to need that much if you're banking with them for a full year and the business entity has been active for a full year. You get past this threshold, voila, you get approved for your business line of credit. How big that business line of credit is going to be determined on the business's assets or collateral, cash flow, and the business credit. I teach that on this channel all the time. That's your 3 C's to lending at any point. Anywhere in the conversation, you're going to either need credit, cash flow, or cash or collateral. Simple. So now, if the business has some kind of equipment in it that's of value, that counts. If it has consistent cash flow coming in, revenue, that counts. Your credit, the business's credit, all counts. So if you want a higher line of credit or a growing line of credit, you want to get your foot in the door, maybe with 20, 30, or 40, or 50,000 just to get started. Just because your financials may not be at a point yet where you can afford to push for higher, that's fine. Get the ball rolling. But if you want it to be larger or a chance for it to grow, then you're going to need more revenue or more collateral, or you're going to need more, higher levels of credit. Or better yet, 2 or 3 of the 3. Once you get this accomplished, now you're kicking the door open, because you can take that business line of credit and now you can go take down properties either as a cash buyer, which is ideal, because now you can take down distressed properties, as is properties, as a cash buyer, and skip and circumvent the challenge of bank funding, which is bringing in properties that need a bunch of work or can't pass inspection or don't have tenants in them and don't have rent rolls yet. You get the property with the business line of credit. Even if you just have to use it, it's not enough to take it down cash, but it's down payment money you can merge with private or hard money, which is going to be a lot more cost effective, because you usually only have to pay like 1 or 2% of the balance on that line of credit in monthly minimum payments during the draw period, which is about 5 to 10 years, depending on the bank. But in this case with Chase Bank, I believe it's like 5 years, meaning that in that draw period on that line of credit, you can make minimum interest payments on it and not have to worry about the principal. It gives you great leverage in cash flow, because now you can go out, take down the property either as a cash buyer or combine it with some other form of financing, get the property taken down, use your business credit card and the rest of the business line of credit, if there's any left, to renovate or rehab the property, get a tenant in it. Now it's stable. This is where it gets good. You can bring it over to Chase Bank, which offers a pretty broad range of investment loan property options, meaning that you can do anywhere from 15, 20, 25, or 30-year fixed or adjustable rate terms with Chase Bank on investment property loans. It's dope. And they'll go up to somewhere $9 or $10 million on the loan size. Many of you won't need all of that, but it's just good to know it's available. Again, if you have that private client working in your favor, you're going to get the best flat fixed rates if you choose that fixed rate, and up to a quarter to 0.5% off if you're in the private client bucket with them. So now the property's rent rolling, it's rehab, can pass inspection, you can bring it to the bank, you can show them that it's making cash flow, it's a stable asset. You need to work with a real estate attorney or work within yourself to figure out how you're gonna do this as far as the titling, because I'm not sure if Chase is gonna let you take this down in the business entity's name. You may have to do all of this on the business side and then turn it over to yourself and to try to buy or to get that loan on it on the personal side, which you can have up to 10 investment property loans in your name personally. 10 rental properties bought property will change most people's lives. And if you're looking to go beyond that, then you can advance the strategy beyond that, to higher levels of funding within the bank or wherever you want to go. If you want to do it in a business entity, it's still doable, but you may have a harder time, or you may have some rules or restrictions around that. The goal, nonetheless, is that you're now qualified for bank level investment property mortgages, great rates, great terms, and you didn't have to, or you needed a minimal amount of private or hard money. You didn't have to deal with, or you had minimal dealings with these RIA meetings, these crazy Facebook groups, or paying some gurus, tens of thousands of dollars to get these secret sauces on these creative financing deals that are so complex, so hard to understand, and not realistic for many of us to be able to take down and execute on. So I'm teaching you how to minimize or completely cut that out with this strategy. So quick recap: great personal relationship with Chase, ideally private client if you want to get a discount on your mortgage rate, business entity that's cash flowing of some sort. Even if you're a Grubhub, Uber driver, if that money, you get that money on the side or whatever, you put it into that business account and let it generate revenue, build up, put in more than you take out, and use that along with proper titling, proper NAICS code, and business credit, personal credit, and whatever business collateral you might have to qualify for the business line of credit. Use the business line of credit to take down distressed properties as a cash buyer, or combine it with other financing to take it down as a cash buyer. Fix it up, get it in quality shape, put a tenant in it, get it rent rolling, bring it back to Chase Bank to take down that property in your name or possibly in your business's name with the best fixed rates and terms available out there for rental properties. And this is how you do that effectively, again, without going crawling to private money lenders or dealing with all the headaches that can come with hard money lenders or the expenses of hard money lenders, putting the control back in your hand, dealing with professionals in the bank who don't get paid until you execute on your loan or execute with establishing your business. This is another gift. You're not worrying about these, the banks are not going to charge you for the advice and the guidance to successfully establish your business to win, or to successfully acquire a loan to take down that real estate. These professionals work with this stuff every day and don't get paid until you successfully close. Another added bonus benefit. Comment down below. Let me know what your experience is with financing rental properties, or have you started yet? And will this video help give you context on how to get started? Let me know what you need me to clarify, to speak up on more. Let me know, where your rental portfolio is and what avenues of funding you're going down and where bank funding can fit into that. Other than that, if you want to learn more about the channel, links in the description below. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want y'all to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.
This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity Network, a channel dedicated to helping you increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, the proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your blueprint for prosperity.